Hello students, today's agenda is to check 5.8. We're going to go over systems of equations, and actually we will be multiplying both equations, and you will be able to do assignment 5.9. So today students will be able to solve systems of equations by elimination, but again, as I shared before, multiplying both equations. Again, just as review, we're gonna go with these steps. They're gonna come up over and over. So the first thing that we need to do is check for opposite coefficients, and this is just review. The first one is just a review. We notice that A does not have opposite coefficients because first of all we don't have the same number, but also we have the same sign and we need opposite signs, one positive and one negative. And we look at B and we notice that we have a positive 1 and a negative 1. Both have a 1. One is a positive, one a negative, so that means that they have opposite coefficients. So we're ready to add the equations. How do we add? We add 2a plus a is 3a. B minus b cancels, and 2 plus 1 is 3. We solve for the remaining variable, the one that is not canceled, that's the one that is remaining. So we divide by 3 to solve for it, and so a is equals to 1. So now we have a, we need to find b. We choose one of the two equations, and it doesn't matter which one you want to choose. I'm going to choose the second one just to show you what happens when we have a negative variable. So I'm going to replace 2 times a, but a is a 1. So I'm choosing only one of the equations, right? Only the second one. Replacing the a with the 1, the solution that we found before. And we put minus b equals 1. The rest stays the same. We multiply 2 times 1 and it's 2 minus b equals 1. We cancel the 2 by subtracting 2 because 2 minus 2 is 0. Careful in here, this negative belongs to the b, so you need to keep it because we still have b in there. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. That means I have $1, I owe $2. That means that at the end when I pay that $1, I still owe $1. Now in here, we can never end with a negative variable. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. And so b is equals to negative 1 divided by negative 1 is positive 1. So now we have the value of b. Okay? We found the two equations. I mean the two coordinates where the two lines will meet. Once again, this was from the first lesson that we learned elimination because they already have opposite coefficients. But now let's go to the next example, and you will notice that in here we don't have opposite coefficients. And furthermore, we don't even have the same number. We might have opposite signs, but we don't have like a 7 and a 7 or a 3 and a 3. Not only that, but yesterday we learned that we can just multiply one of the numbers. For example, 3 times something would make 7, but in this case, that's not the case. It won't work. And I cannot multiply 2 times something to make it into a 3. So what happens? As it says in here, we're gonna have to multiply both equations. And so let me show you a trick. What we're gonna do is first check for the signs. If we want to cancel x, because you can decide which variable you want to cancel, which variable you want to eliminate. If we want to cancel x, we look at the signs and we notice that we have a positive and a negative, so perfect, that works. But for the number that we're gonna be multiplying, and I hope it's not too crowded in here, The numbers that we're going to choose is, for this one, we're going to choose the coefficient of the other equation. So in this case, it will be 3. For the one in the bottom, we're going to choose the coefficient of the top equation. So notice how this goes here and this goes here. But no negatives because we have one positive and one negative already. Okay? And so we start multiplying. So 3 times 7x is 21x. 3 times 2y is positive 6y. 3 times negative 18 is negative 54. So 3 times 8 is 24, carry 2. 3 times 1 is 3, and 2 is 5. Okay, and positive times negative is negative. Now we do the same thing with the second equation. And so it's 7 times negative 3x, negative 21x. Yay, now we have opposites. 7 times negative 3y is negative 21y. 7 times 12 is 84, I believe. Let's see. 7 times 2 is 14, carry 1. 7 times 1 is 7, and 1 is 8. Perfect. So now that I have opposite coefficients, I can add my two equations. And so this cancels, and I start solving for the remaining variable. So 6y minus 21y is equals to negative 15y equals, if I subtract and leave the sign of the bigger one, is 84 minus 54 would be equals to 30, positive because the bigger number is positive. We divide both sides by negative 15, and so y is equals to negative 2. So I found y, now I need to figure out x. And so let me write my y is negative 2. Oops, I said negative 2 and I write negative 3. Y is negative 2. And I would like for you guys to always circle your answer to make it easier for you to grade it. I choose, let's see, I'll choose the top one. And so it's going to be 7x plus 2 times y. But I already know the y, so instead of putting y, I'm going to put the solution of y equals negative 18. I forget about everything else and start simplifying and solving this one. So 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 equals to negative 18. Add 4 to both sides, and so 7x is equals to, I owe $18 but pay 4 is negative 14. I divide both sides by 7, and x is equals to negative 2. So this will be my x, which is negative 2. Coincidence, okay? It's just by coincidence that they are both negative 2. Okay, let's do another one. Check for opposite coefficients. No, no. So how can I make opposite coefficients? I'm going to multiply. Let me cancel the y this time. And you can decide which ones to choose. Actually, some people prefer to choose the smaller numbers. So remember, this goes to the top, this goes to the bottom. And now I need to check for signs. If both are positive or both are negative, I'm going to have to make one of these two numbers a negative. And it doesn't matter which one, but as long as you choose one of them to be negative, you'll be fine, because then negative times positive makes it negative, and then positive times positive is positive. So you will be able to cancel because you will have one positive and one negative. So we start to multiply all the terms. And so negative 4 times 2x is negative 8x. Negative 4 times 3y is negative 12y. Negative 4 times 8 is negative 32. I do the same thing for the bottom equation, and so 3 times 3x is 9x. 3 times 4y is 12y. Yay, opposites. And 3 times 11 is 33. So now that I have opposites, whoops, now that I have opposites, I'm able to add the equations, and that's going to eliminate my y, and I can solve for x now, because negative 8x plus 9x, that's equals to x. Negative 32 plus 33, that's equals to 1. So I already have my x, which is 1. Now let's find y, and I can choose any of the two. I'll choose this one. 2x, well, I was gonna write x already, but I can replace the x by my solution, which is 1 plus 3y equals 8. And then I start solving to find y. 2 times 1 is 2. The rest stays the same. I cancel 2 by subtracting. And so 3y equals 6. Divide both sides by 3. And so y equals 2. So now I have my solution where the two lines will meet. Again, first I decide which one do I want to cancel, the x or the y. Then I check for the signs. If both are the same sign, one is going to be negative, one is going to be positive. It doesn't matter which one. And then I just bring this up and then this down. Now somebody would ask, what if I decided to cancel the x instead? And I'm not going to do it completely, but I'm just going to show you really fast what you would do. If you want to eliminate x, then all you have to do is multiply, and it doesn't matter if you put it on this side or this side, it's the same thing. You check, if both are positive, then one needs to be negative and one positive, so that you can change that sign of one of the equations. And this goes up here, the 3 goes up here, and the 2 goes up here. Again, but if they're the same signs, one needs to be negative of your numbers that you're going to use to multiply. Okay? So I think that's it. Now you can do 5.9, and just remember, if they have the same signs, one of them has to be positive, but if they already have different signs, both will be positive. Okay? If same signs, one negative, one positive, same signs, opposite signs, both need to be positive. I hope I didn't confuse you on the last part. Okay, so have fun with 5.9.